the weirdest black market in your school? I started a side hustle in school that made me $5,000 by only using a singular pen. My little business started junior year when I discovered I could copy anyone's handwriting perfectly. It began with helping my friend Earl get out of a pop quiz by writing his illiterate a doctor's note in his mom's exact handwriting. Word spread fast, and soon I was charging $20 per signature. Field trip forms, absence notes, grade reports from the meatheads that needed signing. I'd study a sample of the parents' writing for 5 minutes and then create whatever kids needed. By senior year, I was making $700 a week for maybe an hour of work total. I had a whole system going. Kids would drop off samples in my locker with their requests written on sticky notes. I'd do the forgeries during lunch in the empty art room and leave the finished products in their lockers by last period. It felt harmless, like I was just helping kids avoid getting grounded or missing fun activities. I kept a notebook with samples of different parents' signatures and writing styles. Mrs. Thomas's perfect cursive, Mr. McDaniel's messy doctor scrawl, Ms. DeCarlo's neat printing. I got so good I could even match the pressure they used and the way certain letters connected. Kids started calling me the signature artist because they're corny. Everything was running perfectly until that Thursday when I got called to Principal Young's office during third period. I figured maybe someone had snitched about my business, but I wasn't too worried, cause what were they gonna do? Suspend me for being good at handwriting? Yikes. When I walked into the office, my stomach dropped. There was this sophomore girl named Kimura crying so hard she was shaking. Her parents sat on either side of her looking destroyed. Her mom's face was puffy from crying, and her dad kept rubbing his eyes like he hadn't slept in days. Principal Young stood behind his desk with this expression I'd never seen before. Pure disappointment mixed with anger. "Sit down, Madison," he said in this quiet voice that was somehow scarier than yelling. I sat in the chair furthest from Kimura's family and tried to figure out what was happening. Kimura was one of my regular customers, but just for basic stuff like absence notes. She was this quiet girl who played violin and always paid in exact change. Principal Young pulled out a form and slid it across his desk toward me. "Do you recognize this signature?" It was a medical consent form. I saw Kimura's mom's name signed at the bottom in handwriting I definitely recognized because I'd forged it at least 5 times. The form was for prescribed antidepressants from a clinic downtown. My hands started sweating as I read through the details. Kimura used this forged consent form to get prescription medication without her parents' knowledge, Principal Young continued. She attempted to overdose on these pills 2 nights ago. If her parents hadn't found her when they did, he didn't finish the sentence, but he didn't need to. I looked at Kimura and saw the bandages on her wrists. Her mom reached over and smoothed her daughter's hair while tears ran down both their faces. The room felt like it was spinning. "I didn't know," I whispered. "She said she needed it for a field trip permission slip." Kimura's dad finally spoke. His voice was rough, like he'd been crying too. She'd been asking us about therapy and medication for months. We thought she was being dramatic. We told her to pray more and focus on her studies. He covered his face with his hands. We failed her, and she found another way. Principal Young explained that they'd traced the forgery back to me through other kids who'd used my services. Kimura had hidden her depression from everyone at school. She'd seemed fine, but was struggling badly at home. When her parents refused to get her help, she'd used my forged signature to get medication on her own. But without proper monitoring or therapy, she'd spiraled and tried to take all the pills at once. I felt like I was going to throw up. All those signatures I'd done thinking I was just helping kids avoid detention or get out of PE. I never thought about the serious stuff someone could use them for. Medical forms, legal documents, things that could actually hurt people. "You're potentially facing criminal forgery charges," Principal Young said. "This is serious, Madison. A girl almost died." Kimura's mom looked at me with red-rimmed eyes. "We're not pressing charges. Our daughter needs help, not more trauma, but you're going to make this right." The deal was simple. I had to work with the school administration every day after school to help them identify forged documents. Turns out I wasn't the only one doing this kind of thing, and they needed someone who could spot fakes. I also had to write apology letters to every parent whose signature I'd forged and do 100 hours of community service. But the worst punishment was seeing Kimura in the hallways after she came back to school. She was getting real help now with therapy and proper medication. Her parents had finally listened. But I couldn't stop thinking about how my stupid side hustle had almost cost her life.